Not long before his ticket sales broke Ticketmaster, Matt Rife was struggling to get booked at comedy clubs. What spurred his meteoric rise to fame? Matt Rife never knew his dad. During an April 2022 appearance on comedian Bert Kreischer's Bertcast, Rife said his father died by suicide when he was a young child.
No dad. My dad died when I was like 1.
When Kreischer asked for more details, Rife replied, "He was 20, I think. It's weird to think about because I'm 26 now, and when you think about your dad, no matter what state, you think about a grown man."
I'm older than my dad ever was.
According to Rife, he's still not entirely clear about the circumstances underlying his father's cause of death.
My mom said it was just like probably depression.
While growing up, Matt Rife began to develop an interest in comedy, particularly Dane Cook and Dave Chappelle. As Rife recalled in a video for Famous Birthdays, his own foray into comedy officially began when a classmate encouraged him to enter a high school talent show. Though he was reluctant to participate in the talent competition, he also knew he wanted to give a stand-up career a shot.
And she was like, well, then you have to do this. And then, so I did the talent show at 14, and then I started doing comedy like for real like a year later.
Appearing on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, Rife looked back on those early years when his grandfather would drive him to a comedy club in Columbus, Ohio, each Wednesday so he could perform during the club's open mic night.
And then he would just watch me tank week after week after week.
When he decided to pursue stand-up comedy professionally, Matt Rife left his hometown of Columbus for the bright lights of Los Angeles. Launching his career, however, was slow and arduous. Interviewed on the Dropouts podcast, Rife looked back at the years he spent slogging his way through comedy clubs and how dispirited he came to feel about his stalled career.
I've been in LA for 10 years. And it was like, I couldn't get a special. I'm not getting regular spots at a lot of clubs. It was like, after a while, you start to go like, dude, do I suck at comedy?
In 2015, Rife began appearing on Nick Cannon's Wild 'N Out. In 2017, he must have figured that he'd landed his big break when he was tapped to be one of the hosts of MTV's revival of TRL, the once popular countdown show that was originally titled Total Request Live. Reviews were not kind. A headline from Stereo Gum read, "MTV's new TRL is a vapid, obnoxious mess." The New York Times commented specifically about Rife, reporting, "Roughly once an episode, Mr. Rife blurts out an off-color remark that makes his co-hosts wince, talking about hot naked yoga to Noah Cyrus, who is 17, or joking about R. Kelly or Bill Cosby." When it was all said and done, TRL did nothing for Rife's comedy career, although he was well paid for the brief gig. He said on the Unlicensed Therapy podcast that it was a miserable experience.
It was the first time I realized money didn't buy happiness.
After he cut ties with TRL, Rife stuck around at MTV long enough to compete in the network's reality show, The Challenge, Champs vs. Stars. Spoiler alert, he did not emerge victorious at the end of the competition. Rife then went on to blend comedy with paranormal investigation for the online ghost hunting series Overnight. But this also did little to propel him to the next level of showbiz. Back in 2017, Matt Rife's relationship with an A-lister landed him in headlines. That wasn't because of his comedy, but due to reports that he was dating Kate Beckinsale, star of the Underworld film franchise. At the time, Rife was 21, while Beckinsale was in her mid-40s. In a 2017 report in Us Weekly, a source stated, "They went on a couple of fun dates. It fizzled out weeks ago." However, they were reportedly spotted together the following year. In 2019, when Beckinsale was dating a different, younger comedian, Saturday Night Live star and relationship machine Pete Davidson, TMZ caught up with Rife and asked about his ex. He said in the interview, "We dated for a year and it was complicated, a lot of ups and downs, but she's moved on, and I'm hoping they've both found, or are getting out of it what they want to get out of it." In 2019, Matt Rife made the shift from cable TV to primetime network television when he was among the stand-ups competing on Bring the Funny, NBC's comedy-themed talent competition. Rife was one of 12 to make it to the semifinals, with one of his more memorable moments taking place in a scripted bit, in which he awkwardly and unsuccessfully tried to hit on Chrissy Teigen, wife of singer John Legend.
Is no us, Matt. I have kids, I have a family, and a thriving Instagram account. I can't do this.
Sadly, Rife didn't sail through it to the finals, where a $250,000 cash prize awaited at the finish line for the winner. Over the next few years, Matt Rife continued trying to make an impact in stand-up comedy, but didn't feel he was gaining much traction with his career. According to Rife, in early 2022, he decided to set aside his dislike for social media and begin posting clips from his stand-up performances on TikTok. Nothing changed until the day that he posted one routine he'd dubbed the Lazy Hero. That video unexpectedly went viral, racking up 30 million views within a few days. Before long, Rife had amassed millions of TikTok followers.
So from going from playing clubs for 35 people who got free tickets to we broke Ticketmaster, which is insane.
After releasing a few self-produced comedy specials, Matt Rife inked a deal for his first ever stand-up special for Netflix. Debuting in 2023, Matt Rife, Natural Selection, was not only Rife's biggest special to date, it also generated more controversy than he'd ever received. At the beginning of his routine, noted Vulture, Rife joked about being greeted by a restaurant hostess who had a black eye. A friend asked why she couldn't be moved into the kitchen where her injury wouldn't be seen. Rife responded with a joke.
Yeah, but I feel like if she could cook, she wouldn't have that black eye.
After the crowd laughed uneasily, Rife told the audience the joke was intended to test the waters.
I figured we start the show with domestic violence. The rest of the show should be pretty smooth sailing after that.
Rife was subsequently barraged with backlash on social media, and he issued a response via Instagram stories, writing, "If you've ever been offended by a joke I've told, here's a link to my official apology." The post included a link that read, "Tap to solve the issue," and then the link directed Rife's followers to a website that sold helmets for those with special needs, which didn't so much quell the backlash as stoke it even further. The backlash over his mockery of domestic violence in Natural Selection hadn't even died down when Matt Rife was suddenly engulfed in a whole new controversy. This one began when a 6-year-old boy commented on a line in the stand-up special, in which Rife referred to the ring around Jupiter. The child wrote, "Actually, it's Saturn that has the rings. It has more visible rings also. And you're mean to girls." Rife responded in a since-deleted Instagram message, "Jupiter also has a ring. Oh, and Santa isn't real. Your mom buys you presents with the money she makes on OnlyFans. Good luck." Interestingly, that wasn't the only time that Rife tussled with a kid. A few years earlier, Rife made a rude comment to a photo that 11-year-old Mason Ramsey posted online, in which he posed with rapper Post Malone. Referring to a raised patch of skin above the boy's eyebrow, he wrote, "What's on your forehead? Some gum?" Ramsey's response was pure class. He tweeted, "It's a birthmark. Not all of us are perfect." That apparently humbled Rife, who responded, "You are perfect, bro. Was genuinely curious, lol. I've got your new single on repeat, little man. Keep doing big things." In addition to his dalliance with Kate Beckinsale, Matt Rife had a messy split from Brooke Schofield, and reportedly had a brief romance with Pretty Little Liars alum Lucy Hale in early 2023. Later that year, Rife appeared on Good Morning America and revealed that he wasn't single. Reports soon emerged that the comedian was dating actor Jessica Lord. In October, he confirmed that he and Lord were an item. He told People, "It's newer, but I do prefer to keep it on the more private side. Just because, people are literally insane." He credited Lord with insisting that he invest time in their relationship, saying, "She forces me to take personal time, obviously, and I love that. Whenever she's like, 'Can we have tomorrow for ourselves?' I'm like, 'Thank you, I would love to have that.'" During an interview with Esquire earlier that same year, Rife admitted that the explosion of his career had posed some difficulties in the romance department, saying, "I kind of hate dating. I know I am just in my mid to late 20s, but still, I do want a wife and a family and a prominent home life that makes me feel comfortable, safe, and is my peace. But when I'm touring 6 days a week, 52 weeks out of the year, it's incredibly hard to maintain a relationship."